If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
That's right. It's Christine McIver. Welcome, everyone. I am so thrilled that we are here together tonight. We've got another show for you where we're going to be talking all about business and business from the advantage of creativity. So, how many of you are in your own business? Or you would like to be in your own business and you're concerned about your creativity, or perhaps you're concerned about your level of creativity and struggling with it. Maybe you have too much creativity. Maybe you don't have enough creativity. And if you're in either of those positions, you're in the right place tonight. So, looking forward to having you here with us and talking all about what we can do to support you in your business. So, before we get started, I want to share with you a little bit about myself. I am a business optimization expert. I love, love, love business. I love business like people love ice cream. I love business like people love to play because for me, business is a playground. And it wasn't always like that. So I'm going to share that with you tonight. But I always wanted to be in my own business. I always had an imagination of being in my own business. And since I've been in my own business, I've had such a wonderful opportunity to work with amazing individuals, clients that were in business, wanted to get into business, or people from a personal perspective. I started out as a personal coach. I work with men and women. I work with people of all ages, and to be able to support other people and bring my knowledge and my expertise to the table to be able to support them is it just brings me so much joy and so much pleasure. For me, as I said, business is like second nature. And when I am doing business, when I am really in the element of working with individuals regarding business, it's just so much fun. And so tonight we're going to be talking all about how to be available for your creativity. So let me just read the show notes to you so we kind of all get into the alignment with it. So, do you struggle creating in your business or finding a way to allow your creativity to come to you? During this show, we'll explore the depths of creativity and offer practical insights. I will do that on how to tap into your creative potential. Creation is your nature, but learning to be available for it is the key. I want to read that again. Creation is your nature. We are all natural creators. And yet, many of us don't believe that we're creative. We actually say those things. I'm not creative. I'm not creative. So, we're going to be talking all about understanding creativity, how to learn to cultivate a creative mindset, nurturing your inspiration, balancing structure and freedom, and overcoming creative blocks. Which ones of those really jumped out to you, and which ones of those would be an asset for you to learn more about? I would love to know. Now, if you're watching us live, thank you so much. If you are on Facebook or in YouTube or on our TV channel, Inspired Choices Network.tv, thank you for being here. If you would like to ask me questions live during the show, you're welcome to come join us at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room. And I'll be watching the chat room for your questions, and I will try my very best to answer them for you. This is part of being creative when you're on live TV and live audio. So we are all about creative tonight. And a lot of people, let's just dive right into this. A lot of people talk about wanting to be in their own business, and then they tell themselves, but I'm not creative. They perhaps have an idea for a business, and they believe that that one idea is the beginning and the end of what they know. And that they really have to hold on tightly to that one individual idea in order for them to be successful. That's not true. As I said in the show notes, you are naturally creative. And I can tell you how I know that. So every single one of us was brought into this world through our body, the female body, being incredibly creative, right? You need to have a lot of creativity going on in order to birth a human. And we all have a part in that, whether we are a male or a female. Now, of course, the female body is doing the lion's share of holding on to the creativity as the being grows within the body. But the male chromosomes, as well as the female chromosomes coming together, are creating this human. Creativity is part of who you are. Even if you have not been able to add to bringing a body in to raise a body, to have a body be birthed and then to be able to raise it, your body, the functions of your body are incredibly creative. I want you to imagine all of the different functions that your body performs, all of the different cells within your body, all of the different molecules, all of the different thoughts that are going on in your body. The simultaneity of what is going on in your body every single day is so magical. Your body cannot help to be creative. And you, I believe very strongly, you're the one that chose to be part of this creation. You chose to come into this body to be a creative being here on planet Earth. Now, the other thing that I really want to bring in is the understanding, and I've said this many other times, the understanding that we as humans are continuously desiring. We're continuously desiring something more, something greater. Now, I can hear as a child hearing people say to me, "Are you never satisfied?" And I would go into the wrongness of who I was. I would criticize myself because I thought, you know what, I should be grateful. I should be grateful. Well, stop with the should. It's bullshit. Because the fact is, the truth is that you are naturally built to continuously desire. The energies, the divine energies that created us along with our bodies, absolutely gave us the desire to continue to have more and more desires, also gave us the ability to create. You are naturally able to create when you are utilizing all the different aspects, not just your mind. Your desire, your desire is your desire is part of, I'm getting hot here, so I'm rolling up my sleeves. Your desire, your continuous desires are part of one of the greatest gifts that you have in being creative. So please don't shut down your desires. Allow your desires to communicate with you, to feed you. Your desire is telling you, I want more. And when you have a desire that comes through you, that comes to you, it is a divine creation with the universe telling you that, hey, you have a desire and it's also available to you. So the first thing I want to talk about really is, how much have you bought into I'm not creative? How much have you bought into I'm not creative? So I had a very close friend who was an artist, and she could certainly create beautiful paintings. And she oftentimes create amazing arrangements, like when she would wrap a present or when she would dress a table, or all sorts of different creative ideas. And that was my definition of creative. I didn't believe that I was creative. I have never taken or had a big desire to paint. Now, does that mean that I'm not creative? No, it means that I'm not probably a painter. How many of you are beautiful with creating a meal or coming up with a creative idea on how to handle money? How many of you are creative in how you make your home, set up your home in a way to make it look like there's more space than most people would be able to? How many of you are creative in the way that you interact with others, the way that you're very present, how you ask questions and engage, and really are present to pick up on the energy of where that person's at and possibly what that person needs? These are just some examples to show you that you are creative. There's many different ways to be creative. Are you creative at driving? Right? Are you creative at playing with children? Are you creative at supporting people, knowing what they need, coming up with ideas of possibly what would be an asset for them? These are all creative ways and so important. So, as I said, you want to first of all understand what creativity truly is. Creativity is far more than just painting or singing. Creativity is the motion of creating. And you, as a being with your desire, have a natural ability to create with your desire. So you have a desire. You have something like, oh, I want to create in business, and I have a desire to make money, and I have a desire to work with others, and I have a desire to support others in this way. And as you step into that and you really start to open up your mindset to the knowing and the ability that you have available to receive ideas, to receive information from the universe, you will come up with, you will start to recognize different creative ways that's going to support your desire. So, my big question to you right now in this segment is, are you open to receiving in all sorts of different ways creativity that will feed your desires? Are you open to receiving all sorts of ways that will feed your desires? So, what do we need in order to be able to be open to that? Well, first and foremost is we have to get in touch with our desires. We have to have a desire mindset. We have to cultivate our desires. A few years ago, I put on a program. It was called Up Your Ask. And it was all about tapping into your desires. It was so much fun. Twice I did 100 days in a row where I connected with a live on Facebook with a group of people. And for about 10 minutes, I spoke about the theme of the day. And it was really all about stepping into our desires. What I learned throughout that time, it was so huge through both those sessions. But one of the biggest things that I learned is that we do not desire enough. We do not ask for enough. We are obsessed with having one or two things come into our life, and then we cut off so many other possibilities. And a lot of times the reason for that is what I was referring to earlier, is the notion that we should be satisfied enough. We should ask for just enough. We shouldn't try to receive more than our fair share. My friend, you have no fair share. Everything is available to you. This is such an abundant world. And the ideas that can come and from your desires can change the world. So I really want you to open up. Open up big time to your desires. Start a desires list every day. Write down at least one desire and get creative with that. In that, don't put parameters on it. Don't say, come up with a thought of something you desire and go, oh, that's too much. Don't do that. Allow yourself to play like you did when you were a child. Use your imagination. Let it run wild like the horses. Your desire is a gift and it feeds your creativity, and your creativity feeds your life and your business. Okay, we are up for our first break of the show. You are watching Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. Do not go anywhere because I've got so much more to share with you. I'll see you in a minute.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, you are here tonight with Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices show on our home station, InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Now, you can find us, all of the episodes of this show, Inspired Choices, and all of the other hosts, you can find them on over 70 podcast platforms. What's your favorite podcast platform? Where do you like to listen from? Did you know that we actually have our own app? Our own phone app that you can listen to all of our shows. And in fact, you can also watch the TV episodes on demand through that app. Just look for Inspired Choices Network on your app store. You can also find us on over 300 TVs, and you can go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.tv where you will see all sorts of TV episodes. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us. All of our episodes fully are in Facebook and Instagram. You know what? We are everywhere. So please do check them out. Find your favorite platform. Keep checking in. We have amazing hosts here on the network who are sharing everything from mindset to emotions to how to take care of our lives, how to take care of our businesses, how to take care of our bodies. There's so much knowledge. It's like going to a university. And we are really, really blessed to have such a huge array of professionals here on the network. You definitely want to check those out. So tonight on my show, we are talking all about creativity and really learning how to be available for our creativity. Now, in the first segment, we talked about creativity being a part of who you are and how the functions of the body show us that they're incredibly creative. Knowing and really owning the truth that you are naturally built to continuously desire and how that desire can communicate to you and feed you and ultimately teach you how to open up to more and more creativity. Now, some of the reasons why you may not be very creative or feel like you can't come up with new ideas. Maybe you're already in business and you have like a one-hit wonder. Okay. You have one thing that you talk about, the one thing that you teach or you sell, either a product or a service, and you're desiring for more. You want to grow your business. Well, in order to grow your business, you must be open to being creative. And acknowledging your creative sometimes can be very challenging. One of the most important things to know is that if you have self doubt, if you have fear, if you are worrying about money, if you are worrying about being successful, all of those heavy energies, what they are going to do is they're immediately going to shut down the creative part of your brain. They're immediately also going to shut down your receiving of creativity. So imagine, I want you to try to hold the thought of worry and desire simultaneously. I'm worrying about money. I desire to have more creativity in my business. Now, oftentimes when we're worrying about money, we have a desire for more money, but what is the energy that's really winning out there? It's really the worry. So you're kind of wringing your hands and your head down and you're really contracted and you're in that space of negativity. So all of those energies are really negative. And when you're in that place of worry and panic, what is going to happen is you're closing off. I kind of say it's kind of like you're closing off doors. You're shutting the doors to receiving new ideas and creativity. You are feeding the monster of fear and worry. And when you are in the energy of fear and worry, you are absolutely not going to be able to stay in that high vibrational space of desire where creativity gets really nurtured. So that's an important piece. Ask yourself when you are going into perhaps thinking about your business, ask yourself, what's the energy that I'm in right now? Am I in this space of excitement and desire, knowing, acknowledging that I'm a natural creative being? Or are you in this space of, oh my gosh, I'm falling behind. Everybody else is more successful. How am I going to pay the bills? I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care of my family. Where are you coming from? Acknowledge that. And if you are in that heavy space, that's okay. This is not a judgment about that. What I want you to do is I want you to start acknowledging where you are at. Now, there are wonderful, amazing mindset coaches out there, and they will certainly help you to start to shift that mindset. If you come and you're working with me, we will definitely visit that area and see what we can do to begin to shift it and to really show you that all of that energy is not 100% true. So, in order for you to really ramp up your creativity, you've got to be in receiving. You've got to be in that space of receiving new possibilities and knowing like that if I run into a door I'm going to hurt my foot, right? Knowing that I am creative and there are new possibilities for me in the world. So many people, when they're in that heavy energy, they think that there is only so much money to go around for each person. They believe that there is a limited amount of money in the world, that there's a limited amount of ideas in the world, that there is a limited amount of new things that can be created. And that is not true. That is 100% not true. There is an unlimited amount of creativity, and there is an unlimited amount of money. I'm not getting into that tonight, but there absolutely is. Your job is not to worry about how much money there is in the world. Your job is not to worry about if you're going to get your fair share of ideas. Your job as a business owner is to step into the energy of possibilities with you and with your business. Again, I'm going to circle back to the desires. If you will nurture and really give your attention to desires, even little desires, start out with little desires like, oh, I desire to have a beautiful breakfast when I wake up in the morning. Oh, I desire for my body to just feel so, so loved when I wake up. I desire to have my home feel like it's surrounding its arms around me so I can have a wonderful day tomorrow. I desire to have fabulous conversations with friends where I get to laugh. Start there. Start with small desires if big ones elude you. You will start to stoke the fires of your creativity through those desires. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to write out. We've got less than 60 days to the beginning of the next year, but that doesn't matter. I want to really challenge you to come up with 10 new desires between today, which is November the 8th, and next Wednesday, so 7 days from now. I want you to come up with 10 new big desires. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Because if you have wishes, and wishes are more like, oh, I wish, I wish, I wish. If you come up with 10 big desires, what the energy of the world is going to do for you is going to say, oh, Christine's desiring this. Okay, we better get moving, right? We better get moving to support that desire. When something comes to you, a desire comes to you, remember that that is absolutely already available to you. We as human beings go into the worry and the fear and the doubt, and we stoke that energy way more than we stoke our desires. And guess what wins out? The fear and the worry and the doubt. It doesn't need to be like that. So I really want you to play with this. And I want you to also look at creating an environment for your creativity. I want you to play. How many of you are out here playing, or you're going to sit down at your desk and you're starting, you're, first of all, you wear your sweats. You don't, fancy yourself up at all. You don't fancy up your body at all. You don't have any play going on with, hey, look at me over here. I'm having a great time. You drag yourself to your desk. You drag yourself to your office. You don't put in any care in how you look or how you feel. When you are in that mindset, you are saying, I don't even want to bother. Well, how are your desires going to be able to burrow through all of that heavy energy? It's not. So you want to create an environment of creativity. And the first way you do that is by taking care of you. So look in the mirror in the morning, give yourself a wink, say, hey, how you doing? Right? Start to play with yourself. That is the very first way to start ramping up that creativity. Then I want you to be flexible with how things need to be set up in your workspace. Move things around. Have some fun. If you watch my show all of the time, you may see here on the TV episode, you may see some things in the background are changed, right? You'll see when you come on that I'm often wearing something very different on each of my TV shows. That's part of me feeding my creativity, right? There are simple ways. And when you're being flexible, you can start to bring more and more and more of that in. Even doing remote work, going to different places, maybe when you are doing some of that creative journaling, or you're even get together in person and have a meeting with someone, but do it in a very, very playful way. I was going to tell you about what happened for me when I was starting my business. I got together with a dear friend. Her name is Carol Glover. And if she's listening, hi, Carol. So this was before I started the network here. And Carol and I got together, and we both had a desire to do something, but we had no idea what we wanted to do. So she came to my office, which was in my home, and we sat down at my desk, and we had the paper and the pen and all the rest of it. And we were as blank as the paper. We didn't know what the heck to do. And so we're sitting there, and it was getting more and more frustrating. And I said, you know what? Let's go for a walk down by the water. So I lived really close to Lake Ontario. And I mean, like less than 3 minutes from Lake Ontario. So we walked down to the water and we were by the water, which was so gorgeous. The sun was out. It's beautiful. There was some different animals, ducks and geese and so on and so forth, and people walking their dogs. And it was a beautiful day. And we just walked along. And we started to chat. And we were in the space of creativity. And we started asking questions like, what would be fun to create together? And before you know it, we created this fabulous day of teaching others to tap into their creativity. From that, about a month later, her and I both started to produce. She was my first person who was my producer. And together we started to produce professionally. And we learned how to do this together. It was so wonderful. And we learned how to tap into more of our creativity by doing something very, very different. And that was one way for us to create that environment of creativity. You've got the ability to do this, and these are some of the tools to do it. Are we really up to our second break? Oh my gosh. All right, stick around. I have so much more to share. You are listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. So tonight we're talking all about being available for your creativity. Tell me, sorry, I tried to say three sentences at the same time there. Tell me how many of you are very serious about your business and you really get down to, creating, and it's so, so important that you succeed. You can be someone who's serious about their business and knows that it's important for you to succeed and to have play in your day. When was the last time you, as a business owner, laughed? When did you laugh when you were working with maybe your coach? Or where did you laugh the last time you were working with your clients? We take things so seriously and we get into really, really heavy, heavy energies, and oftentimes miss out on how important it is to play. I love to laugh and I love to play with my team. And when we talk, lots of times we're laughing and we're just having a good time and, just doing silly, silly things. And those little silly things can feed so much for your soul and then open you up to being in that creative energy. What's so important is that we actually make time for creativity. Don't wait until you feel pushed to come up with something new. Make some time. Again, go into those desires and then spend some time each week for sure, if not every day, in creative play. What would be fun? What do you have right in front of you that you could play with? I have some beautiful stones in front of me. I've got a tennis ball. Maybe you throw the tennis ball against the wall. What do you have? Sometimes, and I'm going to just reach up to something. Sometimes when I'm in a playful mood, I'll put my hat on and I'll go, okay, it's time to be creative. Or I have this other really funny thing that I play with. I don't have it near me, so I can't grab it. But going into doing some fun things can start to stimulate the idea of creativity. Spend some time, put some time aside so that you can have that creativity, and encourage people in your team to go into creative ideas, right? Now, a lots of times I know that when I worked in corporate, we used to have business meetings, and we would sit around with, okay, so what ideas do you have? And it was this huge pressure. Well, one of the big ways that people in business, in corporate, stimulate creativity is by going and playing. They go and do these, mountain plays, or they go outside and play baseball, or they do all sorts of adventure things in a way to not only bond with those that they work with, but also to take them out of the heavy energy of the office, the four walls, which will then stimulate creativity. That is important no matter what size of business that you have. It's time for you to stimulate that creativity and allocate time for thinking about what is possible. Ask yourself this question: if I knew anything was possible, what would I choose in my business? If I knew anything was possible, what would I choose in my business? Play with that. Play with it from the space of there's no right and there's no wrong, and see what starts to occur. If you're not willing to do something different's not going to come to you. So these are some ideas to assist you in doing that. Another big thing about stimulating that creativity is taking care of yourself. We talk a lot about self-care, and sometimes it feels heavy for me, when people are talking about, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that. It's nearly like this pressure of self-care. You don't have to go away to a spa for a week in order to do self-care. Sometimes turning off the noise and just watching the birds outside for 20 minutes can be a place of nurturing you into self-care. One of my very favorite things to do for self-care, which most of my dear friends know and my team, is to have a really wonderful bath. A lovely hot bath nurtures me so much. My body loves it, and I just go into such deep relaxation that it opens me up to start again for a new possibility. Taking care of you and ensuring that you are rested and that you are fed well and you're drinking well and you're really in a great state physically will add to taking care of your creativity time. So those are so important to take care of you. Another big thing about creativity is your willingness to be crazy and diverse. What if you did something so different than you've ever done before? Do you think you would maybe see things in a new possibility, in a new way? When we are structured, and business is important to be structured in a lot of ways. So if you're part of my team, if you're any of my hosts, you'll know that I have systems. I have a lot of systems in place. The systems are in place to support what the services that we want to deliver to our hosts, and of course, systems in place to deliver to my clients, as well as people that stay connected with me through email or newsletters or whatever the case. So we definitely have structure. You need to have structure as far as, taking care of your body and feeding your body. You want to have some structure as to what you need to purchase in order to have the food in the house. There's a lot of structure that's really important that supports you in business. But how do you manage both the structure and the creativity in the same workspace? Well, here's what works for me and what I've seen with other people as well that I work with is when we put the structure in place, when we have the systems in place, when our team members know what their duties are and how to do all of their tasks very easily, it relieves a lot of pressure. When you have the confidence to know that you have these systems in place and you can relax around the tasks being done, the communications to flow, the posting to be done, when you have this structure in place, it gives you more ease. And when you allow these systems to operate, especially when you have team members like we have here on the network, when you allow those systems to support them, you and certainly myself, I can go into a space of creativity. I can go into a space because that is allowing me to not worry, to not scramble and try and get things working at a different pace, in a different way, right? When we're disorganized, when we don't have a system, when we are chasing our tail, when we're not invoicing on time, when we aren't taking care of our taxes, when we're not doing something efficiently, we spend a lot of time trying to catch up and catch up. And that induces worry, which reduces the possibility of having new clients, certainly induces or reduces the possibility of creativity. So having structure in place actually supports your creativity, which is such a gift when you understand that. It doesn't take long to really put different systems in place in your business. And if you're someone that is struggling with the how-tos, if you're someone that is trying to do it all alone, reach out to me. Let's connect. Let's see if there's a way that you need support and there's a way that we can grow your business with that support. I would love to be the person that does that with you. Business to me is pleasure. And when I really am in that space of helping you to get organized and playing with you, the creativity, the creative ideas start to flow, and we create an atmosphere of growth within you and within your business, which changes the whole game. Business should be pleasurable. Business shouldn't be worry. Why would we do anything that makes us worry, right? The business is here for you to play. And truth be told, this is still very, very true for me. I honestly feel I pinch myself because I'm like, wow, I've been in business, my friends. This week, it'll be 15 years. And I still think, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just playing. I really feel like I'm just playing because I do have so much fun. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have hard days. That doesn't mean that I don't like fall down on the floor sometimes screaming and crying like a 3-year-old. Of course I do. I'm having the full expansion of a human experience. But at the same time, I am having so much fun. And that is what I love to really share with and provide the possibilities to my clients, is showing them how to have fun and what is really possible to have pleasure in your business. You really do deserve to have fun and pleasure in your business. I cannot believe this. We are already up to our next break. Stick around, my friends. I got a little bit more that I want to share with you, and I want to talk to you about what we're doing next week. So you are listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, we are still here with you on the Inspired Choices show tonight. We are talking all about creativity. We're talking about how to be available for your creativity. It is within your grasp to be available for your creativity. But the first thing you have to ask yourself is, am I willing to be available for my creativity? Am I willing to bypass all of the previous judgments that I had of myself about whether I am or am not creative? Am I willing to step into a completely different pathway with my business and with my creativity? You see, a lot of the things that block you, that keep you from your creativity is and learning how to overcome your creative blocks is your thoughts about yourself, what you're buying into. I did a course that is available. I created a course called Bust Doubt Out, and it was all about the doubt that we play with, the doubt that is ever present with us, and how we can change that. Doubt is one of the biggest things that cuts off your creativity. Doubt is one of the things that will keep you in the mindset of not good enough, that you're not going to create what it is that you desire. So you could have desires, but doubt is going to really weigh those down like a weight and stop you from advancing forward with your ideas, cut you off to the possibilities. So again, you can have desires, but when you have these energies of judgment or doubt about yourself, or you're worrying about money, you're worrying about how you're going to get things done, you're worrying about anything, and even if it's not related to business, if you are in that energy of worry and fear and anxiety, anything like that, those are the walls, the doors that close you off to receiving the new possibilities and the creativity. Overcoming your creative blocks requires you to take care of your physical health and your mental health. And it requires you to make doing that and taking time to play and be creative and a priority. How many of us, truthfully, are not making play a priority in our life? We're not making pleasure. We're not making sex. We're not making, enjoying a meal, enjoying a beautiful glass of wine, enjoying the sunshine or the animals or nature. We're not making it a priority. We're actually putting those off to when I make enough money, when I get there, when I do this and when I do that, right? It's for later. It's for later. When you're not making these things a priority, you are adding to the walls, the doors of closing off your creativity and receiving. You see, your ability to desire is only part of the equation. Your ability and your willingness to receive is another big one. And it's something that you have to put into your business. You know, for someone who is, maybe you're a designer, you would spend time looking at magazines, the latest magazines, maybe for interior design or clothes. Or maybe you're somebody who's a wedding planner and you would spend time watching other people's amazing creations and then asking yourself, I wonder what's possible for me. I wonder what it is that is desiring to come through me. And don't ask these questions from the space of expecting an answer right now. That's not how this works. When you put a desire out there, the universe begins to create it. I often say, when I ask for something, I say, universe, order up, as if I'm putting an order up in a restaurant, right? Hey, universe, I have an order for you. I'd like this, please. Could you help to deliver this to me? And when you really see it from the space of, okay, I've put the desire out there. Now I need to stay in alignment with that desire, knowing it's available to me. It's available to me right now. I've got to keep upping my receiving and being open to learning more and more about myself and paying attention to my moods, paying attention to where I'm putting my energy. When I'm aware of that, and when you're aware of that, that's where you can start to speed up those wheels of creativity. Play, laugh, enjoy the moments. You know, my mother used to say all the time, you know, when we would say, oh, I wish it was Friday, I wish it was Saturday, I wish this, I wish that. My mother used to say, stop wishing your life away. And my mother lived to 98. She knew what she was talking about. Stop wishing your life away. Stop wishing for things to be different. Be here, be present, and pay attention to the words, the thoughts, the energy, and the choices that you are making. Have an inspired choice. How do we get an inspired choice? We check in with the spirit within us. Your desires is the inspiration inside of you. And when you're stoking the fires of inspiration, those choices are going to come forward and you're going to be able to make more and more inspired choices when you tap into your desires and watch the creativity start to flow. There are so many possibilities that have not even been born as yet. There are so many new creations in the world and new possibilities that are waiting to be created, that are waiting to be birthed into the world. How do I know that? Because people like my grandparents and my parents thought everything had been created during their lifetime. Hundreds of years after I'm gone, there's still going to be new ideas and new possibilities and new creative things coming forth. I've heard so many people say everything that is going to be created is already here. Yeah, I don't believe that. And so one of the things that I ask all the time is, when I'm creating something, when I come up with a creative idea, I keep a list. I have a list of different ideas and my business has expanded exponentially. I would never imagine that I would be here with Inspired Choices Network. You know, we are not only a live show, we are also on podcasts. We are also on TV. We now do produce summits. We now have people looking to bring their summits to the world through our support. And we are now getting into the realm of writing books. And you know what I say when an idea like that comes up? What else? What else? I am notifying the universe. I'm open. Bring it. Come on, let's go. Ask yourself, what else? Ask your business, what else? Show me, and keep playing with it. Be open to it. If you're someone out there who's struggling with creative ideas, you're struggling with structure, you're struggling with anything in your business, but you have a desire to succeed, contact me. Send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. We'll just have a conversation. Let's see what you're looking for, and let's see what we can actually do together to change what's happening for you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to bring what's on your heart to the world, because the world is looking for the message that's within you, looking for the brilliance that's within you. Each and every one of us contribute to the world, but it's through us stepping up and believing in ourselves. I believe in you. I know it's possible. If something is on your heart, you can bring it to the world. Let's make that happen. Next week, mine your own gold of brilliance in your business. Until next time, remember, you can always make
Thank you
another
for choosing
choice.
to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.